smartphone of the year, Infinix Hot 8. So without any further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Anish Kapoor, CEO Infinix India, on the stage to take you through Infinix's exciting journey and unveil the hottest 8 of the year.
We're on? Yeah. Good afternoon. I think we still have our friends taking some tea. I think please come in and I think we can start this exciting journey. I think a lot of, I'm pretty excited to talk about Hot 8 today. I think one of the best products which we have made so far. We start now? Okay. So welcome all the friends, media friends, all the people who are watching us live. I think we are very, very excited today to be here. I think it's been some time before we are doing this launch. So I think we wanted to bring some really exciting kick-ass product for you, which really redefines the segment. And I think by the time I end this journey today, I'm sure you will be pretty excited with what you see. So I'll start with what Infinix is. I think pretty much most of the people already know about it. So I think one of the brands which have been working on the emerging markets, and we are already present in more than 30 plus countries. And India definitely is one of the key countries on which we work now. So I'll talk about India first strategy. I think very, very important. India is probably one of the most important and key market for Infinix globally. And as we talk about the new products, I think most of the new products which are getting launched, it comes to India, and any product which we launch, which really focuses on the local part of it, wherein we actually go into any specific market, and in this case India, we understand what consumers need, and we try and create that exciting product for the consumers, for them to experience and enjoy. I think to talk more about India first, I think the most important thing is Make in India. Something which probably everyone talks about, and I think one of the core initiatives which is being run in India. And being a part of Transsion and one of the key brands, I think we have actually taken this very, very seriously, and it also shows the commitment which we have for India. We've actually invested in a factory in Noida, wherein we have set up a plant. There's a SMT line which is already there, wherein all the products which are being sold in India are actually made in India in our own factory. It is not an ODM factory, it is our own factory. And just to take you through the glimpse and what we do, I think I'll just play a small video, just to give you a snippet of what happens and how the factory looks like. So this is a small snippet of the factory wherein we have our SMT lines. So everything being produced in India or being sold in India is done right there. And you just saw how the whole process works. Another important topic I thought I'll take this opportunity to talk about today is about the service. Because I think any brand, any new brand which people want to experience, service or after-sales service is a very, very key and important factor. What you see here is, I think we cover India like probably one of the best coverage which you will see from any of the brands. Here we are talking about close to 930 plus service centers, covering more than 700 plus towns. So, which is accessible to each and everyone who buys and experiences Infinix phones. And we have not left it, this is a footprint. We have gone a step ahead, probably not done by any of the other brands. We actually have embedded a car care app in every phone which is sold, which means you really don't have to look at Google, and that's what we actually mentioned. You don't have to go through Google to find out where is the nearest service center. It's at the click of a button, wherein you just have to go into the car care app, look for the nearest service center, make an appointment, look at your ticket. Any other thing which you want to understand in terms of service, I think it's at the tip of the finger. So we want to make sure every person who's buying an Infinix phone does not face any challenges, any problems. And we will keep innovating and we're trying to bring new things to the consumers. I think this is the most exciting part of it. I think this is a 2019 timeline for us, what we have been doing. We started our journey close to 2 years back. And so something which we do very well is talk about very, very exciting features in the specific segments. So we started our journey this year with the first triple camera at a very, very aggressive price of 6,999, and with a 6.2-inch drop-notch screen, which was not there in the segment. The second launch which we had was of S4, which was essentially focusing on the triple camera with wide angle capability and the 32 megapixel selfie. Then we talk about a big RAM ROM story. So you saw Hot 7 Pro coming in, wherein these kind of things normally are available above 10K with different brands, which we have been able to bring at a much, much exciting price points. And last but not the least, we actually upgraded S4, and because that's something which came as a consumer thing from people. We wanted a bigger RAM, bigger ROM, so we launched a 4+64 version of S4 as well. So what you see is essentially we are focusing on getting first in segment technology, which essentially means features which redefine those segments. It is not limited to just another product, but how do you experience those premium features, more innovative features at very, very exciting price points. I think that's the story. That's what we bring to the table for consumers to really experience. And I think commitment to quality is something which comes from consumers. If I say we make great quality products, yes, we do. But the enforcement or what people tell and give feedback is right there. And being an online specific player, everything is visible to consumers. So whatever we have been selling, most of the products or every product is right now rated 4.2. And yes, and all the feedbacks which keep coming from people who use, we take it very seriously and we try to keep innovating and improving in all our subsequent things. So this gives us a lot of confidence because since the time we have launched, there's hardly any product which has actually gone below 4, which is a benchmark in terms of quality, what you bring to the table. That actually brings me why all of us are here, and probably there's a lot of a bigger hot, and it is the hottest topic of the day, and something which really excites us and something on which we have been working for long. Because I think what we did this time was, with Hot 8, we turned everything upside down. Typically what you see is anybody or any brand, and there are a lot of launches, all of you go to multiple launches, and there are a lot of leaks on specs. What happens? Okay, we are going to give you this X, Y, Z, but price is not there. We have turned it on its head right now. We're saying, okay, boss, this is the price. Now what? 6,999, Hot 8, probably the hottest launch of the year. That's what we feel, and I think we have created a product which we have not been able to do so far, probably outdone ourselves. Something which you will understand as we go through this whole presentation today. But with 6,999, what do you get? So that's the question. That's something which we have to answer today. okay, 6999, we are saying it's the hottest launch of the year, hottest product, but what are we actually going to give you? So we did actually a very interesting thing with our partners, Flipkart. We did a survey which was build your own smartphone on 6999, which essentially meant that we wanted to understand what consumers want, what kind of thing, whether what we have brought to the table, whether it is interesting enough or it is something people really don't expect at all. So I think very, very interesting thing which came out of this, and the survey results are right there. If you start looking at this, you will see a very interesting story. So there are people who said, okay, we expect a 6-inch screen, and there are close to 59% of the people who said that. 72% of the people said, okay, we'll look at a 4000 mAh battery. That's the ideal product which we are looking at. On a memory part, 3 GB, 32 GB, they said close to 54%, and dual rear camera was close to 54%. So I think that gave us a lot of confidence on what we have been thinking and what we have actually made. Okay, we have gone on the right track, and probably what we are going to show will be redefining this segment totally today. Now, what do we offer? So next question is, this is something which people want, and what is going to come at 6999? I'll only talk very limited stuff right now. I'll say it's bigger than 6-inch. It's bigger than 4000 mAh battery. 4 plus 64, yes, we have been talking about it. So it's a 4 plus 64, probably unheard of in the history of, as of now, I've been there for long in this industry. It has never been done at 6999, 4 plus 64 configuration which has come. And obviously, we talk about a better than dual rear camera, yes, it will be. So, people who have been following us, we are trying to build up HOT as a series, HOT as a category, wherein we offer much more than the normal. And this is what we did in HOT 7. When we launched HOT 7, we came out with that big RAM-ROM story with a 6.2-inch screen, and we were offering much more than what competition was doing at that point in time. But with HOT 8, actually, it's a lot extra. It is not about only a lot extra, it's really a lot extra. I think that you will get to understand once we start detailing out the product. I'll also take a moment to talk about, I think somebody who's been following, and we started our journey and what we stand for. I think the TG which we talked to us is a confident who wants to start their journey, who really want to make it big, who come from tier 2, tier 3 towns, who really want to upgrade their lifestyle, but they are looking for ways and means to do it. So we wanted to create a product which actually stands out, probably which helps them, which empowers them, which is a no-compromise product, wherein all the boxes are getting ticked. Because what people look for is a big screen, big battery, how the camera is, how the RAM-ROM is, which takes care of essential utility of that phone. So we wanted to make sure, we wanted to give that option to that consumer. The boss, you don't need to really look at anywhere else, and you really don't have to compromise by looking at only one feature. Okay, this feature, I will go for this, but give a complete product which actually empowers them and helps them to make that big start which we are looking for. I'll just take you through, so that takes it to a Ek Badi Shuruaat. So that's what we are calling with HOT 8. It's a big start. It's a Ek Badi Shuruaat. And I'll play a nice film for you to understand what we are talking. Can I have the AV, please?
कौन कहता है बड़े सपनों की शुरुआत छोटी होनी चाहिए? कभी कभी चलने से पहले दौड़ना सीखना पड़ता है। उम्र बड़ी नहीं है तो क्या हुआ, इरादे बड़े होने चाहिए। और रास्ते भले कितने ही मुश्किल हो, मंजिल पे नजर होनी चाहिए। कुछ ऐसे ही दौड़ते, कुछ ऐसे ही बढ़ते, कभी गिरते, कभी संभलते, हम अपनी मंजिल पे पहुंचते हैं एक बड़ी शुरुआत के लिए। तो कौन कहता है बड़े सपनों की शुरुआत छोटी होनी चाहिए?
Presenting Infinix Hot 8.
So that tells you the story. That's the TG. That's what we are going to offer. So it tells we are going to make a big start, a big badi shuruat with a big display and big battery. I think that's where I end my part right now, and I'll ask Kamal, my colleague, to take you through the details of the product. Kamal, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Anish. A very warm welcome to all media colleagues, partners, and all the people who are watching us on the live stream. And thank you very much for being here today for the Hot 8 launch, which is going to redefine the product category in its price segment. Well, we all know the price and we know the sum of the features. And I can promise you that by the time I complete my part, you all would agree that this is going to be the hottest product in the price segment this festival season for our consumers. Before I talk about the product, let's look at some of the data points. What is that our consumer do on their smartphone? What is their consumer behavior on the smartphone? So this is a very interesting study which was published in a lot of leading publications. And what you will see here in India, the data consumption on the smartphone is the highest in the world. So in India is about, we consume on an average about 9.8 GBs per month. So it's a huge data what we consume in India. But what exactly we do with this data? Almost like 65% of this data is being used for watching videos on a smartphone. Therefore, a smartphone really becomes a very important part of our lifestyle. And this is a very typical scenario. This is what I do. I'm sure most of the people sitting out here do all the same format. Wherever we get an opportunity, we try and watch some content on a smartphone, right? Be it metros, bus station, colleges, airports, inside the flight. So we are always kind of, glued onto our smartphone. We watch a lot of content. We are always on kind of the YouTube, MX Player, TikTok, Amazon Prime, Netflix. So a lot of, data consumption happens on the smartphone. With the Hot 8, what we are trying to say, the smartphone is really kind of, become a personal entertainment device through which people are consuming a lot of data. So we understood this point, and we are saying the smartphone is equal to as a personal entertainment device. With the Hot 8, what is that we wanted to do? Anish has already talked about how we have evolved the overall category. And with the Hot 8, we wanted to get everything right for our consumers. We rather wanted to give a no compromise device, wherein most of the brands in the price segment you will see, in order to, kind of offer, they try and cut one on other features, which we really have not done here. It's going to be a no compromise device for our consumers, which is built on a 4 strong pillars: display, battery, performance, and the camera, which are the key essential pillars for a smartphone. And let me just talk about each pillar in detail, just to make you understand what is that Hot 8 is going to offer to our consumers. So display is one of the most important part. Rather, I would say this is a gateway to our entertainment. It's a gateway to our personal life. Therefore, this display quality, display size really becomes a very important part of our lifestyle. And today we are pleased to announce you that Hot 8 is going to be the first device in the price segment which will come with 6.52-inch HD plus IPS display. In order to give more screen to body ratio, more screen on the smartphone to our consumers, we really have worked on the product. And what you will notice here, we have reduced the size of the notch here also to ensure that they have a higher screen to body ratio. Not only on the drop notch, we also have worked on the bezels from the top and the bottom also. You will see that from the bottom is only about 1.9 mm narrow bezels what we are talking. And from the top, it is about 2.5 mm narrow bezels. So put together a big screen, 6.52-inch HD plus, mini drop notch, narrow bezels is going to give about 90.3% screen to body ratio to our consumers for the immersive multimedia or immersive viewing experience. This is going to be HD plus resolution, which comes with the 450 nits of brightness, which really helps our consumers in terms of watching the content, even in the outdoor scenario. So this is just a comparison and a very important slide for people to understand. So right now, there are a lot of, the category has 6.2-inch screen size, which we feel that are perfect for one-hand operation. With the Hot 8, what we have done, we have really not increased the width of, of the smartphone. At the same point of time, on the same body, we are just trying to offer 6.52-inch big screen. So in that case, this is still going to be a perfect smartphone for a one-hand operation, which is going to give about 90.3% of screen-to-body ratio. The second part is that we have seen that data, people are consuming a lot of content on their smartphone. It's not only about the normal daylight, when people consume data. So we have added, some cool features in it. For example, in eye care mode, when we watch anything on low light condition, so whatever the blue rays we get from the phone, it really starts hurting to our eyes. In that case, in order to have a better experience in the low light condition, we have added an eye care mode, which you can simply, pull it down from the drop-down menu and enable it. And the second, I think this is feature something I personally like because I watch a lot on my phone and I read a lot on my phone. So in that case, what I can do, whenever I'm reading, so it means I'm putting a lot of strain on my eyes because I really have to read a lot of, small characters on that. And definitely whatever the blue rays comes in from the smartphone, it starts hurting to your eyes. So for that, we have added a new feature called the AI read mode. In that case, I can define all my reading apps under the AI read mode. So what it will do, for example, if I'm watching anything on YouTube, it will show me in a normal mode. The moment I go to my official email or to any news app, to any article, it is going to change it to AI read mode. So in that case, I really don't have to do any manual setting once I store this application under the AI read mode. So this will kind of help our consumers in terms of balancing the overall viewing experience between the applications through AI read mode. People consume a lot of data. For that, definitely enhancing the overall entertainment experience, multimedia experience, we have embedded direct surround sound, which really help in getting the better multimedia experience to them. This phone has 2.5D curved glass on the front, and this is built on in-cell display technology, which makes phones sleeker, improves visibility. At the same point of time, it makes it further lighter. Talking about the second most important part, which is the battery. When you have a great battery, better quality display, and we expect people to consume a lot of content on that, and we really don't want our people, to carry all the way time power banks along with them. For that, Hot8 is going to come with massive 5,000 mAh of battery, which we can say that, this is really a lot extra, something what we are talking. So for a normal use case scenario, this battery can last up to 3 days. And maybe if I were to do that, then probably I can watch almost 3 back-to-back movies on that. It is going to give about 14 hours of video playback time. I can listen to music non-stop about 22 hours, almost a day, something I can listen to continuous music on that. I can have a 4G talk time of about 17.6 hours. And on top of it, further improve this battery thing, we have added one feature called the AI power management. So what it does basically, it learns from the user behavior, which all apps I'm using that point of time, accordingly optimizes my power supply to ensure that I get the better battery performance. This is, I think we got a lot of positive feedback from all media colleagues and from the consumers also. And this is something new feature. This is a very old feature. Every time, whenever we are launching, we are talking about this, and we are improving on this feature. This feature is called Freezer. So what we have in these days, we have so many applications on our phone. And usually most of the application, maybe almost 60% application we really don't use, or we use it maybe weekly or fortnightly or monthly. In that case, what happens, whenever these applications are there on the phone, what it does basically, they keep consuming battery power or your data also. So for that, what we have done, we have created a new folder called New App, which is the Freezer. What I can do, for example, I don't book Ola and Uber on a daily basis. I do it maybe weekly or fortnightly. I don't go for a movie every day. I go fortnightly or weekly. So I can store all these applications under the Freezer folder. So this will disable this app from the background. And again, this is going to help our consumer in terms of prolonging the further battery life. Again, I was talking about this is based on in-cell display technology, which makes the phone thinner and the lighter. You can see the results here. We've just compared with one of the model which was recently launched with a 5,000 mAh battery. Hot8 comes with just about 8.7 mm with 5,000 mAh of battery. On the weight also, it is just 179 gram. Well, when you have a big display, we are talking about massive battery of 5,000 mAh of battery. Again, like there has to be a great processor, a better combination of rather, I would say, a RAM, ROM, and the processor to give you a better performance on that. For that, as Anish has already revealed that, like this is Hot 8 is going to come with 4 GB, 64 GB, DDR4 RAM here. So we are not going to not talking about any 2 GB, 32 GB or 3 GB, 32 GB because we understand our consumers need more space to store a lot of files on their smartphone. At the same point of time, they need a better RAM management or higher RAM for a multitasking. It comes with a dedicated micro SD card slot, means on the you can have 2 voltage SIM cards in your smartphone. At the same point of time, you can add one micro SD card through which you can expand your memory up to 256 GB. So we are talking about a huge memory capacity for our consumer. 64 GB plus 256 GB is something they really can store. They really don't have to delete anything from their phone. This is, I think, biggest issue what I face, and probably everybody does that. Maybe in 32 GB and all, the memory is not enough. We get a lot of data on a daily basis. We click a lot of pictures, but end of the day, we really have to delete a lot of information out of it. So here, probably our consumers will not be able to do that. This is comes with the Helio P22 processor, which is based on the 12 nanometer FinFET-based technology. And it's an octa-core processor, which is clocked up to 2.0 gigahertz. And it comes with the intelligent task allocation. So let me just talk a little bit more about this processor. So we can see that upper 4 cores are clocked at 2.0 gigahertz, and the lower cores are at 1.5 gigahertz. So we can say that the upper 2.0 gigahertz cores are for intense application users, and for the normal applications, maybe the lower cores can be used. But good part is that it has a intelligent task allocation. The processor can kind of make a combination of codes as per the kind of applications what we are trying to run on that. This in overall helps in kind of getting the better battery performance, better thermal performance, at the same point of time, overall good SoC performance. So I was talking about like some of the brands, they compromise. If they give this, they cut on that. Here we really have not done any compromise on that. It comes with a dual security, which is a multifunctional fingerprint sensor, plus it has a face unlock also. With the help of multifunctional fingerprint sensor, not only you can unlock your device, you can create a jump start to your favorite applications, you can do a call recording, you can take pictures, you can browse through your gallery. Last is the camera. Again, like you have a great big display, which is 6.52. You have a massive battery of 5000 mAh, 4 GB, 64 GB. And camera is also equally important for our consumers, because we know that like the phone has become a part of our lifestyle. Rather, these days our consumers use less of words, more of a pictures to communicate with each other. For that, Hot 8 comes with a triple rear camera at the back, wherein primary camera is 13 megapixel, which comes with a large f1.8 aperture, and it has inbuilt ASD modes, which further helps in enhancing the overall photography experience. Secondary camera is which is 2.2 megapixel depth sensor, which really helps in getting the great portrait photographs. And the third, on top of it, we have a low light sensor and a quad LED flash. All this combination of 13 megapixel f1.8 aperture, a quad LED flash, a low light sensor helps in getting the overall better photographs in the low lighting condition. This was a continuous feedback we were getting from consumers. So with the Hot 8, we have added a panorama shots also on that. This is something I think is maybe, people are talking a lot. Google is talking a lot about this feature. I think right now this is also available at the very, high-end, the premium segment of the device. And the Google is something what we see is like see and learn. So this is a very first time in the price segment, in our portfolio also, we have embedded Google Lens with the camera app only. Current scenario, if I really want to use Google Lens, is something I have to take picture, go to gallery, then click on the Google Lens icon, and probably understand what is this object all about. Here, what our consumers can do, they can simply project. For example, if somebody wants to learn about Hot 8 and Infinix, they can just open the camera app, tap on the Google Lens. Google Lens is going to, analyze what the text we are talking, and relevant information will be published on that. So I think this coffee Starbucks is something, example what we have given. People want to know, they just tap on it and probably they get this kind of result. So this is really going to help our consumer in terms of, understanding learning more about the things, about the objects. It has a 8 megapixel AI-based selfie camera, which comes with a large f2.0 aperture. It has a dedicated LED flash and comes with the AI beauty mode. And this is something was missing, rather, this got lost in between. The way overall display, this generation has moved on right now, 18:9, we were able to retain a dedicated flashlight on the front selfie camera. Even when the big notch came in, selfie flash was there. But by the time we got into this drop notch, this factor was, people really have to go away with this factor. And this was a continuous feedback from people, no, they want a drop notch, but at the same point of time, they want a flash also. Because all these people, not only they take selfies in the during daylight condition, a lot of people take in the low light condition also. Wherein like f2.0 aperture and all is really going to help them in terms of taking the better pictures, but a combination of this big aperture and this flash is really going to help them in taking the better selfies in the low light condition. With the Hot 8, possibly this is going to the first device in the segment, will have a dedicated flashlight in it. So you can see from this video. And the second part is that these days people, they probably do more of a video calls. They do less of a voice call, right? For that, we have embedded this for a video call also. So there are two features on the video call wherein like everybody would want to look good. Why only on the pictures? On the video call also, what people can do, they can enable the flash at the same point of time. They also can enable the beauty mode also on that. I think I personally like it. I'm sure everybody is going to like this one. This is the first time in the Infinix portfolio we have added the AR stickers. This is, I'm sure, when people are going to get the smartphone on their hand, they are going to do a lot of creative stuff for their social media. And especially, I think the kids are going to really love this feature. So when you have a, big display, which is 6.52 inch, a 5000 mAh of battery, 464, a perfect RAM, a combination of RAM and processor, and you have a great camera to capture your moment, you really need a balanced software to get the overall optimized performance on your device. For that, Hot 8 is going to come with latest Android Pie, and on top of it, we have XOS 5.0, which has so many cool features. So some of the features I've already talked about in my previous section, which was like the AI power management, ASD modes, we have like a freezer, AI read mode, and eye care mode. And there are so many features what we have in this, which is a smart panel game mode, beauty mode on the video call. I just explained this one. And a lot of themes as per the regions what we have. So this is something our consumers are really going to. We got a lot of feedback, and I'm sure with the Hot 8 also, I think probably this will take it to the next level. So this is the summary on this like Hot 8, what we get. So we get a great, a big 6.52 inch mini drop notch, which has 90.3% screen to body ratio, comes with massive 5000 mAh of battery with the AI power management, has a triple rear camera, a 4GB, 64GB Helio P22 and octa-core processor, 8MP selfie camera with a dedicated LED flash, great design, and it has a fingerprint sensor with face unlock. So I think the point I started my presentation, I told you guys that I am going to promise you that by the time I complete my part, you are going to convince, probably you will agree with that fact, this is going to be the hottest deal in the price segment for a consumer this festival season. So do you agree? So maybe I think probably once you see the product and you'll be able to understand more on that. And this is something we always give this as a freebie inside the box, because we know that by the time you buy this phone, probably you really have to look for all these back covers and all. So Hot 8 comes with designer looking like a back cover, because again, like the people possibly, it's a part of lifestyle. So great design, yes, but it's a great designer back cover what will come inside the box. For a consumer offer, we have an offer from our partner Reliance Jio, which will give a benefit of up to 5,200 rupees as a cashback offer to our consumer. And consumers will be able to buy complete mobile protection from the Flipkart. That's all from my side. And can we have this product video? We can learn more about the product, and after that we can have a, kind of experience the product at the demo zone. That's all from my side. I'll call back on stage Mr. Anish Kapoor to take the presentation forward. Thank you, Anish.
I think you can give him a clap. I think he's talked about a lot of great things and very passionately. And I think probably once you see the product and what I'm going to talk about from here, probably will convince you what we are saying. It's probably the hottest launch and it does not have a competition in its segment. So yes, it offers a lot extra. How? I think this part is what explains in absolute details what we are talking about. The 6,999 price point you see here, and what is the value add, all the green parts which you see is something which has never been done in this price segment. And yes, we have added few others who are only talking about one or two things and at a much higher price point. So it's only to give a reference key, yes, these products are available, but the price to spec ratio or the value for money or what we are going to do with this segment, it's redefining the segment with 6.52-inch HD plus mini drop notch, 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of ROM, 13 megapixel triple camera, 8 megapixel flash with flash, 5000 mAh battery. And yes, it has fingerprint sensor plus face unlock as well. So I think it's more or less covering everything, and all the other brands are written on the right hand side. You can very well see how it is differentiated. So I think this is the last part wherein we are saying the sale starts on 12th at Flipkart at 12 noon, and this is going to be a very, very special gift from, or something which we want to thank all the consumers who has actually given us so much of love. So this is a festive period offer. So festivity starts from for India from now. So till Diwali or end of October, till 31st October, this is a very, very special price which is being given for Hot 8. With this, I would want to call our friend from Flipkart, Aditya, who would request you to join me on the stage, please. Sorry, I did not mention this. So I think two parts which are left are on the colors. I think this will come in two colors, Kujal Cyan and Cosmic Purple. So there are two colors which will be available on Hot 8 with a very, very beautiful gradient design. I think once you see the products on display, you will love it. And probably this is the time we go for the photo op and we unveil the product. Aditya, please join me. Done. Thank you. Thanks. I think a lot of people walked away, but I think I left one thing for the last. No idea, sir. So something more. I think a few things which we left for the last. And this is something which you will see and something which we want you to experience. So we will be launching our wireless buds very soon, X buds as we call it. So with, obviously you see the specs right here, with mic, Bluetooth, charging time, with my USB micro board for charging. There's a talk time of 2.5 hours and operating distance is 10 meters. So this is another exciting thing which we are bringing to the market very soon. And that is something which you will carry yourself with you today. And we would request you to give us all the feedback, experiences, tell us all about it. And we'll be more than happy to understand and take those feedbacks from you. I think that's all from my side. Thank you so much. And we would really request, have a look at the product, give us feedbacks if any. And I think from here we take the next journey and we'll see you soon. Thank you.